I think I'm a good psychiatrist because I've learned a lot from my patients. And one day, one of my patients said, I stopped aspartame in diet soda and my arthritis went away. And at the time, it was way before I was enlightened, I would go across the street from my office to Jack in the Box and get a 32-ounce Diet Pepsi. And
that rush. Ooh, it tastes good for a second.
maybe like some fried chicken strips and French fries. And so I was drinking diet soda like she was my best friend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have chronic arthritis. Let me stop. So I stopped and the pain went away. Wow. But I'm not that smart. And so like a couple months later, I'm like,
I feel
maybe
good.
it wasn't that.
Yeah,
so I went and got another one in pain for a week. And I broke up with aspartame. But here's the new study. They took mice and they gave them a little bit of aspartame in water. And it made them very anxious. And then they gave them a benzo. They gave them Valium. And it calmed down the hyperactivity in their amygdala, part of the brain that feels fear. But the really crazy thing about that study, aspartame's in 5,000 products now, their babies were anxious.
Oh my gosh.
And they never had aspartame. Their grandbabies were anxious, that aspartame is causing epigenetic changes. And could this mental health explosion be to things like that are happening in our society that we just have no awareness of?
Wow.
Kill the aspartame.
So alcohol has zero benefit, is what I'm hearing you say, to the body and the brain. Right. People might say, well, it helps me loosen up, or it's a cultural thing. And
I could teach you diaphragmatic breathing, and that will help you loosen up. Right. I could teach you not to believe every stupid thing you think, and that will loosen you up. Skills, not just pills. Skills, not just substances. And while we're on the topic, marijuana will help your pain, and then it'll come back.
Really?
And then you'll be dependent on something that increases your risk of anxiety, depression, suicide, and psychosis. I am just horrified.
What has happened in the last decade since marijuana has become legal in many states and it's very accessible for people to have, just like a candy bar at any moment? They can just eat something, or they can
it's legalized in 40 states now. So recreational marijuana in 24 states.
What have we noticed with brain and mental health linked to marijuana usage in the last 10 years?
So I published a study on 1,000 marijuana users. Every area of their brain is lower in activity. I was just on Tucker Carlson's podcast on marijuana, and the comments, they're like tens of thousands.
They hated you probably. They're like,
they hate me and they love me because people see the damage and the devastation it does to relationships. And then another group, not me at all, published another study in JAMA Psychiatry on 1,000 marijuana users, young people. It decreases in the learning and memory areas of their brain. And I just had Julius Randle on my podcast, the NBA superstar, who I love so much. And he came to see me and we talked about it on the podcast. He was about to get divorced because he was smoking a lot of pot. And it was his escape from his past. It was his escape from his negative thoughts. But his wife, his mom, everybody's like, it's changing him in a negative way. And he stopped it as soon as he saw a scan. I love that part about the scans. He stopped it. And then I taught him how to manage his mind. And we did EMDR and we got the rage out. And he doesn't believe every stupid thing he thinks. And another technique in the book is give your mind a name, right? Gain psychological distance from the chatter, from the noise in your head. So he named his mind after his dog, Teddy, that just barked for no reason. He goes, why mine? It just stirs up trouble. And then you'll love this. We created an alter ego for him because he was known for sort of falling apart in the playoffs, even though it wasn't fair, right? Once you get that label. And so his alter ego was the Mamba disciple because he grew up for the first 4 years playing with Kobe Bryant. And so when he got on the court, it was no longer Julius who didn't do well in crunch time. It was the Mamba disciple.
Wow.
And he had the best playoffs of his entire career where they went to the Western Conference Finals.
Wow. So marijuana in 1,000 scan study that you saw, it did nothing good for the brain physically, is what I'm saying.
Not one good
What
thing.
about people that swear that, you know, when I take marijuana, I have like all this creativity and all these ideas flow through me and I'm like the best performer and artist and writer, and it's just like it comes through me when I take marijuana? What do you say to people like that who swear by it?
Well, I would just love to look at their brains. And is it making your brain healthy? And does it help you feel good now and later? Or is it now but not later? And I think of myself as a long-term thinker.
Yeah.
It's like, I want you to feel good now and be creative now, but I also want you to be able to do it 10 years from now.
Yeah, interesting. And if it's hurting your brain over time and shrinking your brain or limiting your brain, then it's going to be harder to be thinking clearer later and staying healthier longer. I love this approach to creating distance from your mind. So if someone is experiencing negative thoughts, if someone is experiencing doubt, insecurity, shame, guilt, or they're just saying negative things about themselves to themselves and to other people, how can we create a mechanism that allows us to separate ourselves from our mind, to have a conversation with it, to see it for what it is from a different interpretation, so that we can harmonize with our mind and ourselves to be in better alignment with a positive mindset rather than negative thinking?
That's a huge part of this book on negativity bias, how bad that is for your brain, and how to train your brain to be more positive.
And how to not believe the
pie
negativity.
in the sky.
Yeah, but how to not believe the negativity.
It's a training.
Yes.
You know, like Julius shoots free throws over and over again, even though he's shot tens of thousands of them. He keeps doing it.
Yeah.
Why? Because he has to keep that skill. We always have to be working on our mind. So initially, give your mind a name, begin to separate. I named my mind after my pet raccoon when I was 16. I loved her, but she was a troublemaker. She like TP'd my mother's bathroom, ate all the fish in my sister's aquarium, would leave raccoon poo in my, and that's my mind. It just like stirs up trouble. So when I get a storm, I'm like, you're going in your cage. I'm like, no, I don't have to listen to you. Or now what I do, I put her on her back and just tickle her in my mind, right? So it's a beautiful visualization because raccoons have 200 different sounds they make.
Wow.
What really helps is whenever you feel sad or mad or nervous or out of control, write down what you're thinking. And then identify the type of ant. I call them ant species. Is it all or nothing? Things are all good or all bad? Is it just the bad ants where you're focusing on what's wrong? Is it mind reading, fortune telling? The worst ant of all of them is blame. Whenever you blame someone else for the problems you have, you become a victim and you can't change anything. And a lot of negativity goes with blame. And people are, oh, the other ant is labeling. Whenever you label yourself or someone else with a negative term, you can't deal with them anymore because you've lumped them with all the people that are like this. And so you can't deal with it.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more inspiring clips like this, make sure to click right here to subscribe and click right here to watch that next video that is specific to support you in your life.